Thanks so much to Alan Salazar for passing me the glass. I'm excited to receive it and give a different perspective, perhaps. So one statistic about water that I wish everyone knew, at least in the water workforce, I wish they knew, is that about a third of the water workforce is set to retire in the next decade. Now, let that sink in for a second. A third of the water workforce. That is a huge proportion of our professionals. And so what that means for all of us is that there's a lot of knowledge transfer that needs to happen from more established generations to younger generations, but it's also an exciting time for early career folks like myself to step up in leadership and an opportunity to give younger professionals really a seat at the table in decision making and bring new ideas and new skills into the mix. One way that I see water differently, and perhaps I've always seen water this way, is that water for me has always been about people and service to others. So this has really been the driving force for giving me motivation in this career. And it's a really satisfying end goal to think about working with and for people. But as I've dug into this a little bit more, as I've gotten older, I've seen that working in water goes beyond just an individual act of service, but really that connection to people relates to everything we do. Water's more than just pump design and flow rates and equations. That's important on the engineering side, but water is also a public service, and the technologies and approaches that we take as engineers, for example, need to take that into account. So I'm excited about new approaches that maximize benefits and increase resilience, for example, in light of that service to people and others. And when I think about water and the future, I'm really a persistent optimist. So take the challenge of climate change. This is immensely impactful for our field. It's a huge challenge. And as a young person, of course, thinking about the future and uncertainties with climate change is kind of scary. But at the same time, it's an incredible opportunity to leverage existing infrastructure and also, when it's appropriate, do things differently. So that's an exciting thing in a career that's rapidly changing, in a field that's rapidly changing. And the solutions that are on the table are changing too. So some of those solutions I'm most excited about include nature-based solutions, so how we use nature to help solve water problems, and water reuse. And both of these, they're really different, right? Low and high tech, but both can be leveraged together and have in common that they give multiple benefits back to people, right? And can be used to build resilience to climate change. So I want to come back to that idea in the beginning about the future and young people having a seat at the table. I'm really encouraged by the movement on climate resilience and how this has a big impact on young folks. So we may not know what the future holds necessarily, but it's exciting to see so much change in thinking about doing something differently. I will be passing the glass to an incredibly important and influential person in my career in life, David Sedlak. He was my PhD advisor during my time at UC Berkeley. He's certainly a thought leader in the water sector, but more than that, he's an academic and teacher and has helped to inspire hundreds of students to re-envision a new water future. And I think given the context of being a young professional in this space, I couldn't think of a better person to pass my glass to who's had such an important impact on my career.